make such a strong statement, because by just coming here, I mean, the very fact that you're having a tech expo in a nation where nothing is so specialized, most of the exhibitions are general trade exhibitions, a complete expo dedicated specifically for technology is in itself, a first. And I think I should congratulate the organizers, and I should congratulate the Ethiopians for once again taking the lead in the sub-Saharan region and showing the way to other countries that technology is the way forward for Africa and Africans. So you deserve a pat on your back for doing this. The second reason that I feel is that technology, I'm sitting here at the cradle of mankind, Ethiopia is the cradle of mankind. And it's ironical that, we are talking about technology, because my take on technology is that technology actually defines the future of human evolution. It's not just something that, you use a phone and you get used to that technology. How we have evolved from apes into human beings. Technology had a very big part to play. And today I'm sitting in the cradle of humanity, and technology, the technology that is going to be introduced, maybe when our children or our grandchildren are there, that is going to define how we, as a human race, which direction we are taking in our path towards development and evolution. So technology plays a very, very important role, not only as something that gives you convenience, but it also defines human evolution at a larger level. So, but that's another thing, that's another topic altogether. I can go on and on. Why don't I let you talk about what you feel about this event?
Well, thank you. We as JORCA see this as a great opportunity for us to showcase our works, create linkages, share knowledge, and also contacts for future development. But going back to your presentation, I would like to ask, what will it take in terms of policy, education, for Africa to leapfrog and reach the levels that other regions have taken place?
Honestly speaking, I think Africa already has an advantage over the rest of the world. And I'll tell you why. Europe, Americas, they are technologically advanced nations. But to reach that level of advancement and development, along the way, when they reached that level, along the way, they made a lot of mistakes. Let me give you an example. I don't know if the young generation might not know, but oldies like me, we've been through, maybe you don't even know something called a modem, an LD player. We had music cassettes. Maybe you people not even have heard about these things. And those were like flashes in the pan. Those were technologies that were not sustainable, and those were mistakes till we finally found the final solution. So in that sense, Africa, it's like a, since I'm a biker myself, it's like a motorcycle race. If you see that, the guy is chasing the leader, always has an advantage. If the guy in the front falls, he's going to take over. Africa is 2 steps behind the latest technology and is observing very closely the developments and the mistakes that the developed economies are taking. So they are in a better position. They are well poised to avoid those mistakes and take a much shorter path to development. That's my take. I could be wrong, but looking at how Africa has embarked on this new journey, I feel that it has everything. The technology is there. The new generation is very tech savvy. They are more educated, and if you look at statistics, there is a big rush towards urban centers in Africa. So Africa is coming out of the villages, out of the agricultural fields, into the big metros, and they are now, they are shoulder to shoulder with the rest of the world. That's, I think, itself is a lot.
So another key pillar of our expo is about showcasing startups. From the context of Africa, how would you see startups shaping the future of technology and innovation?
I was actually, since I'm a journalist by profession, I'm very dispassionate about, like a doctor, when there's a patient in front of you, you have to be dispassionate. So we journalists are taught, to be dispassionate about the subject that you're studying. So I go by statistics. As much as I'm an Africa lover, I don't let my bias for Africa come in the middle. So based on that observation, I was just going through a statistic recently that passed my eyes. I'm sure a lot of people here won't know this. 2021, when the world was fighting COVID, and there was economic disparity all across, did you know that global investors invested over $2.8 billion in African startup fintechs? I mean, that speaks for itself. I mean, the whole world is looking at Africa. 2.8 billion in 2021. That's a lot of money. So a lot of investors are looking at Africa as the next area of growth, because like I said, you reach that saturation point when the mobile telephony started. Americas, the Europeans, they were quick on the take. The market grew from 10 to 100 in 1 year. Africa, we've reached from 10 to 40. It's taken us 15 years. There's still room for growth for another 65. So you see, there's a lot of potential in the African market, because as technology is introduced and as Africa joins the bandwagon, even if you look at internet penetration is not as good as any other part of the world. So there's still room for growth in Africa. And as that technology, internet penetration increases, mobile telephony increases, as more new technologies are introduced, the possibility of growth is tremendous. And maybe, the Africans don't realize it. The big boys sitting with the big bucks outside, they look at Africa and they say, man, there is an opportunity. No wonder they're spending 2.8 billion in African startups, just to answer your question.
Okay, thank you. I would like to now open the floor for questions from the audience.
ጥያቄ መጠየቅ ትችላላችሁ። የእናንተ ተራ ነው። አፍሪካ ቢዝነስ ፔጅ በጣም የሚታወቅ ፔጅ ነው። ምናልባት ቼክ ብታደርጉ ኢንተርኔት ላይ ብዙ ነገሮች አለ። ይሄን ኔቫድን መጠቀም አለብን። ጥያቄ ቢዝነስ ላይ አዲስ የጀመራችሁም ሰዎች፣ ስታርታፕ ላይ ያላችሁም ሰዎች
Yes, there.
Yes, please.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Fanuel from Intracom. We are also having a booth here. It's good to know your page. What is your experience in regard to Ethiopian companies like us? Have you listed already some of the companies, or we're going to the page and the list? We're going to register in your page. What is the necessarily fee applicable if it's there? That's one of my questions. The other question is, do you do linkage with other maybe UAE companies or other countries to do partnership business as well? So this is all my question. Thank you.
The very reason, way back in 1992, when we launched the print version of Africa, what is today known as Africa Business Pages, it was started as a magazine, because there was no internet at that time. So it was started as the Africa Business Pages was actually a magazine, which was done in conjunction with the Dubai Chamber of Commerce, and I was the editor for the publication. And I mean, I'll tie in technology in that. Our print run was around 70,000 copies. But how technology helped us, I'll just give you a brief background of what we did. The whole idea of the publication was to connect, promote direct B2B contacts between global suppliers and African buyers. So when we started that publication, as the internet came in 1996, we launched our B2B internet portal. So once again, technology helped us. Where we were doing 60,000 copies we were printing for distribution in African countries, today, if you go on Google and type Africa business, I mean, imagine if your company, if somebody types Addis Ababa business and your company pops up in the top 3, we are talking Addis Ababa only as a city. We are talking about an entire continent of 54 countries. You to go type Africa business, we are in the top 3. So we got, where we were printing 60,000 magazines, today we are getting 40,000 visitors every day to our portal. So that's the level how technology has helped our business grow. To answer your question, the very reason that we launched Africa Business Pages in 1996 was to promote direct B2B contacts between buyers and sellers. I'll be very honest, I don't know if there are some government people sitting here, but me being a journalist, I can get away with a lot of things, I will say it. The government people come and cut ribbons. The real actual work on the ground is done by private companies like yours, or like Jorka is doing here. The minister comes and comes. So our emphasis is direct business-to-business contact. I feel the government should act as facilitators to promote direct B2B contacts, and that's what we try to do. So yes, we do connect businesses like yours to counterparts from across the world, and we do special projects for various countries there, whereby we do special issues, special guides, like the business guide to Ethiopia, for instance. Just, it's not something that we are doing, but just an idea. Business guide, which we promote extensively, so that people understand how actual business is done. It's all fine, as you can understand from my talks, we cut the chase and we get to the point. So, we do special projects with the ministries to promote, business ties across countries as well. So I will highly recommend you to, registration is free. African companies are given a presence on Africa Business Pages without any cost, where they can upload their product pictures and post their company profile, and they have an internet presence, a digital presence on the net. And since we are very highly ranked in search engine rankings, you will get a presence, and you will start getting business proposals from companies across the world.
ሌላ ሰው ይህን እድል መጠቀም አለባችሁ። ቢዝነስ ላይ ያላችሁ ሰዎች, you need to take advantage of taking some questions and get an answer, maybe for your company. እሺ፣
thank you. Glad you're here. My name is Kadus. I'm from Gabia X. So what I wanted to ask you is that, what is the role of different banks? In Ethiopia, Dashan Bank is one of the leading banks that is actually trying to push forward the technological advantages or the technological progress in the country. So could there be other help that can be produced by other banks in Dashan Bank itself? And is it possible for the ministries or the country's governmental offices to push banks to help growing startups, to get investments, to help startups grow their business? Do you think things like that could actually help startups grow and find better connections, like what you're doing right now, promoting African businesses? Can banks have a leading role in such kind of way? Thank you.
Very good question, very pertinent question, in fact, especially from an Ethiopian point of view, because we are sitting here where Africa Union has its office. Addis Ababa is the headquarters of Africa Union. And Africa Union, for your information, has defined the future of e-payments and e-governance. And they call it Agenda 2063. So they have a clear blueprint of how banks, governments, and even your taxation system has to go digital. And that blueprint is called Agenda 2063. Go look it up. Everything is very clearly defined there. And to answer your question, yes, the government has to take the initiative, and it has to be a public-private partnership. PPP model is the best model, whereby the government facilitates banks like Dashan Bank, and from my little bit of research that I've done about banking systems here, I mean, Dashan Bank is obviously has been on the leading side of providing credit cards and e-payments, and they have they have a lot of digital payment options. But there are other banks like Abyssinia, who are now also competing in the same domain. So competition breeds quality. The more competition, the quality gets better. So this is the time for the government to kind of get into a private-public partnership and facilitate this thing, because the Africa Union has a larger picture of Africa as a whole, and they've talked about how digital payments and e-governance, even collection of taxes, everything has to go digital sooner than later. So you have touched a very pertinent point, and I think this is something that people in the power should be discussing and planning about. Yeah.
I'm sorry, follow-up question.
Sure, go ahead.
In that way, I've personally had the opportunity to participate in the Job Creation Commission competition in, I think, past a year or so. So I've known quite a few startups that have tried a lot trying to get where they are. They've worked really great things. Most of them are not here, but I would gladly invite them tomorrow to come here and socialize. So the business, Africa business page is also actually one of a good opportunity for them to showcase their products, showcase their business profile. So would you, will your company be willing to not just promote them, but maybe connect them with different investors, connect them with people that they can actually help them? So I've seen great products, more than 300 participants in the program, and more than, I think, 30 winners. So I've seen great products, great businesses come out of that project. So if it's possible, I would love for your company, Africa Businesses, to contact the JCC, the Job Creation Commission, because they have a list of various companies or startups that could actually be helped by such a promotion. That can actually connect them to various investors and different business partnerships. So I would gladly call them tomorrow, and probably most of them would come here. So if you're here tomorrow, I'd love for you to meet some of them, because they have brilliant ideas.
Not only will we be willing to help, we will be very happy to be part of this.
Thank you.
You remind me when in the, I think, 1999, when internet promotion, Google had recently launched and taken over from Netscape and all these other browsers, and they were wanting to get as many customers, and they launched a program called Get Africa Online. And they approached us that, and Africa Union also supported that program. And we said, yeah, we were the first ones to start, beat the African drum. So we said, yeah, we'll be willing to offer, free digital internet presence for African small businesses, SMEs, and even big companies, since internet penetration is not so good. And we were part of that process. Maybe what you're suggesting, maybe maybe this spark can light a fire, maybe. And where I come from, I've been operating from the Dubai market for 35 years. Dubai, there are people who have a lot of money. They are ready to invest. They only need a good idea, some assurances, and some trustworthiness. And if JCB can do that, why not? I mean, a good idea always needs let me give you an example. Maybe it'll set a spark for somebody here. 3 years back, a startup, new college graduate, went to one of the investors in Dubai and said, You know, it's too much of a hassle to stop your car at the petrol station, waste time, and wait for the attendant to fill it up. Why don't we have an app, and I can, like you call Ride. I'll make an app where you can just order the petrol, and they will come, and your car is parked outside while you're listening to me, and that guy is going to fill up the. And today, he's a multi-billion company, and they are expanding all across the world. So you never know, these kind of ideas, you know, this is how things happen, you know, one thing leads to another in business, you know.
I always say that's the way to go. Just go for it. If it happens, you know. But nothing can be found without trying. So, thank you so much. I'll try to bring everyone tomorrow and meet you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So my colleague Addis have launched a question. I'm also from GabaX. I'm the CEO. My question is, in your magazine, are any VCs available? Because there are many startups with brilliant ideas in this country, and funding is really tight. So most startups like ourselves will struggle to fund it ourselves. And the fund usually in this country is attached to collateral. So are there any VCs available if we post our business and profiles up there? Are there any VCs available? And is there any media, like we can connect in online basis, like maybe like Zoom meeting or any other online conferences available that we can share ideas and pitch?
Yeah, sure. And that's something that we, as a team at Africa Business Pages, our tech team has been, we've been working on this idea for a long time, especially during the COVID days when events like these were a no. So we went virtual, and we did organize investor and startup online meetings, and a lot came out of it, but mostly those were based out of Russia. And the investors were from Dubai. But the same thing can be applied on the African continent if the startups are coming up with good ideas. Yeah, the idea has to be viable, because don't forget, at the end, you know, the investor is putting money on an idea. You know, these angel investors, they invest on an idea. They have to see a little bit of traction into that idea. And if that traction is seen, I don't see why not, you know. Our job as we are a platform, we are like a showcase. Much like this event, we put the spotlight on things we think deserve the spotlight. And African startups obviously deserve the spotlight. But having said that, like I said, I'm dispassionate about things I like. To be honest with you, if you look at the statistics, you know, Africa startups don't really have the technological skill sets that are required, really. Most of the programmers and the IT wizards are not coming out of Africa. They are mostly coming out of South Africa. I mean, I have the statistics. South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana. I mean, those are where the startups are, and they're more tech savvy than a lot of other countries. Ethiopia is in the mid-range.
Thank you. My name is Howie. I came from this company called Modern ETH. We have a startup company called Cradle Africa that was started about 7 months ago. So what we basically do is help customers find products and services from other trusted African companies. So my question here is, I know this expo is happening in Addis Ababa, but if there is actually an opportunity where we can actually connect with other African countries, where we can actually gain experience and find a way that we can actually work together, that would be great. So is it something planned in the near future?
No, not even planning. We actually do it. We have divided the Africa business pages into various verticals, which are sector-wise. So we have like the automobile sector. Automobiles is something that is in big demand, cosmetics, stationery. So we have divided our portal into various verticals. So one vertical is about services and like you are, you know, what you are doing. So there you will find, once you register and you are there and you posted your presence there, then you'll find that, there are people from Mozambique, Namibia, from Egypt, from all across Africa, and you are free to kind of communicate with them. And not only do you get a presence and other people know about you, you also get to know other people. So we're already doing it. It's just a matter of, as technology grows, the connectivity will get even better, because now we have introduced direct WhatsApp messages between our members. So, if somebody sees your profile and sees your products and sees what you're doing, and all he has to do is just press a button and tuck, there you get your WhatsApp message. And I hope you remember me at that time.
Hello. Thank you for the opportunity for me to ask more of a general question. Could you highlight, I mean, a lot of startups are coming up in Africa, and, like you as a conduit of a portal for, for outside investors, could you spotlight the discovery process of how that happens, and maybe like an example of like what a successful outcome is in terms of someone who is connected through the portal, and what we should be focusing or what we should be doing to have a better outcome in terms of connecting to the investors, and also mostly secondly as like who are